Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gazelle, and I have the wonderful privilege of doing some training for us tonight. I see some people are not muted. If I can just ask you to mute yourself. And if I am busy and someone is unmuted, please just type them a message, as I can't do that while I am training. So today I have the wonderful privilege of training on the subject that I spoke about at the convention. So I don't know who of you on the call were there, but it was absolutely amazing. And what a wonderful privilege to have been part of that. And then Chris and Lucinda gave us this amazing opportunity to also do that as an online training for the members who were not present. The theme is the difference. And today I want to talk to you about the key to success. And I've titled this session The Difference for a very specific reason. So we will be looking at real stories, stories of people who faced extraordinary challenges, and yet they found a way to rise. I am going to share the original speech as I gave it at the LifeWave convention, but today we'll go a little bit deeper. So what is the difference? And what is the key to success? Because a lot of people have advice to give, and there is a lot of advice out there to be given that can definitely contribute to some level of success. But what will we say is the true key to success that sets it apart from anything else you might have heard before? So we're going to look at some success stories after hardship. And I am confident that each and every person listening to this, watching this, has their own story to tell so far. And each and everyone have a story, and each of every one of our stories matter because it defines the journey we have been on to get where we are. That story does not define us. It doesn't matter what your story was. Your story can change into anything. And it also doesn't matter where you are in your story. Your story matters. So let's look at this gentleman. He was born in 1890, and Harlan faced hardship early. He lost his daddy at the young age of 6. He dropped out of school by the age of 12, and he worked countless jobs just to survive. In his 40s, he ran a small roadside diner in Kentucky, where his fried chicken gained local fame. But at 65, a new highway killed his business. So they didn't drive through Kentucky anymore. They drove around it because of development. Broke and nearly hopeless, he lived off a tiny social security check. So what was his rise to success? Refusing to give up, he hit the road with his pressure cooker and his chicken recipe. After 1,000 rejections, over 1,000 rejections, someone finally said yes. Imagine that, just for a moment, 1,000 rejections. Guys, will you still be continuing? So after more than 1,000 rejections, someone finally said yes. And that was the yes that changed it all. That single yes led to the first franchise and the birth of something massive. By the age of 73, Harlan Sanders had built a network of over 600 restaurants. What if he gave up? What if at 65 he said, guys, I've tried, I've had life rough, I'm giving up? What if he never hit the road with his pressure cooker in the back of his car, going all over trying to tell someone and sell this idea to someone? Then there won't be the legacy that Colonel Sanders left. He left a legacy of perseverance. He's the absolute global icon of perseverance. So today KFC is in over 145 countries, proving that it's never too late to rise and that failure is just the beginning if we don't give up. Imagine he gave up as a young boy, saying, you know what, I don't have a daddy, I don't have a good example. Imagine he gave up in his 40s, after he had to work countless jobs. Or imagine he had to give up when he was 65 and his business got knocked down. Like a lot of us have experienced a few years ago. We were hit very hard. Imagine if you just give up. So the lessons we learn from his life is it's never too late to rise. And failure is not final unless you stop. And rejection is part of the process. Accept it and keep going. Don't let someone's no's or rejections put you off, because you also have a legacy to leave. Then we look at this lady. She was born into poverty in rural Mississippi. She faced abuse, teen pregnancy, really under rough circumstances. She lost her baby shortly after the baby was born, so she suffered tremendous trauma. What was her rise to success? She worked her way up in media, often being told she wasn't fit for television. So, in those days especially, women, and especially women of color, was not seen on television. And her emotional intelligence and authenticity redefined daytime TV. Imagine this girl gave up and didn't just continue. Today, Oprah Winfrey is known by almost everyone on the planet. If you have a TV, you know who she is. She became the first Black female billionaire, and she transformed daytime TV into a platform for healing, truth-telling, and personal growth. She opened doors for underrepresented voices, championed reading and education, and inspired millions to live with purpose and authenticity. So she did what was the unthinkable, and each of us can do that as well. Let's look at these stories, each one unique. Why did they succeed? So Howard Schultz, from Brooklyn's projects to Starbucks CEO, he made coffee culture global. We know Trevor Noah, the comedian. From apartheid South Africa to The Daily Show, he gave voice to global issues through comedy. J.K. Rowling, from a broke single mom to Harry Potter creator, she sparked a worldwide love for reading. So why did they succeed? Everyone's story is unique and different. What is your story? So if we think of our life wave leaders that we look up to, and they're setting the way for us, paving the way, cleaning the way for us to do this as well. Harvey, Chris and Lucinda cleaning South Africa so that we can move forward. We hear George's testimony. We hear other people's testimonies, Sandy Feast. And each of their stories are so unique as well. So what is the difference? What is the key to success? Let's look at another success story. So this is just a portion of Charlize Theron's story. In the mid-1990s, after moving from South Africa to Los Angeles, she pursued a career in film, and Tron found herself in a very difficult financial situation. She was living in a motel on a limited budget and relying on checks from her previous modeling work in New York. One day, she went to the bank on Hollywood Boulevard to cash a check her mother had sent her to help her with rent. The bank refused to cash that check because it was out of state. Her mom sent it from South Africa, and she was not an American citizen. She was desperate and frustrated, and she started pleading with the teller. And the teller didn't listen, so she started causing a scene. And this drew the attention of John Crosby, a talent agent standing in line behind her. He intervened, helped her cash the check, and handed her his business card. Crosby then later introduced her to acting school and casting agents, leading her to her first film roles. And now she is known all over. So what do we learn from her? Lessons that we learn from Charlie's story is opportunities often come disguised as ordinary moments. Sometimes we look for this massive opportunity. It's going to happen when I speak to this or that person, but sometimes it's just going to happen in the bank or in the grocery store or anywhere. We shouldn't wait for big moments because it can happen in ordinary moments. And sometimes it's not just persistence, it's being visible when opportunity knocks. So sometimes it's using your voice, where you might be someone that don't usually use your voice or have the confidence to use it. Have the boldness to use your voice. Then we've got Mark Zuckerberg. From dorm room to global empire, he launched Facebook from his college dorm room. And within just a few years, it grew into a global social media giant, making him one of the youngest self-made billionaires. His success shows how an idea combined with focus and timing can create rapid impact. And we might feel like, wow, wasn't that easy? He didn't have a very hard life, but we don't know his full story. And every single person's story is different. So what is the difference? At the end of the day, what is the true key to success? Each of their stories looked so different. There wasn't a specific recipe that they followed, but they all reached tremendous success in their lives. So what is the difference? The difference is you. At the end of the day, each one of those people didn't give up. They persisted. They had a dream. They had a voice. They had something that they want to achieve. And each one of you have something you want to achieve. You have a dream within your heart. And you would not be here listening to this if you weren't passionate about what you are doing now. Will you face no's? Absolutely. Will you face rejection? Absolutely. Will you face people looking at you and just not buying into your idea like Colonel Sanders more than 1,000 times? Absolutely. Will you give up? That's on you. You are the only one who can decide to continue and continue and continue, because you have everything it takes. Within you, you have what it takes. The difference between success and failure is whether you get up again, whether you continue for another day, even if there's a dry season. Are you going to continue or are you going to give up? Because what we have is an incredible opportunity. We have an opportunity in our hands that I didn't think would be possible in a time like this, where the world is crying under being sick and under incredible financial strain. We have a solution for both. You should just not give up. And I want to encourage each and every person to show up as themselves, don't try and look at someone else, seeing what they're doing it and trying to copy that. Yes, we are duplicating the system, but don't duplicate yourself. Your uniqueness is what's needed for the people you need to reach. I always say that your vibe attracts your tribe. So don't deceive yourself or deceive yourself by not being yourself anymore, because you have exactly what it is needed to make a success. And more importantly, the way you see yourself, the way you speak to yourself, the way you believe in yourself, and the way you show up for yourself. That is the difference. You are the difference. I want you to really focus and listen to this. Every story I've told you has one thing in common. They got back up again and again. They didn't wait for perfect. Guys, there's no such thing as perfect. Perfect is an illusion. We shouldn't wait for perfect. We shouldn't wait till we feel ready or till we have all the answers. We should just go. They learn to surf instead of letting the waves drown them. So think about your own journey. What is one area where you have been waiting for perfect before you act? You're waiting for that perfect. Where have you been knocked down, and how can you get up, back stronger again? What opportunities might be right in front of you, but you haven't recognized them yet? Really reflect on that, because that is busy building your success story. Now I want you to just really focus on yourself. Don't be distracted with anything around you. And I want you to really think of what you want to achieve with this business. Be brave enough to dream. Be brave enough to write it down like they always share. I have a vision board up in my office. Be brave enough to dream again. And then work towards it. Show up on all the days. I always say, we can't just show up on the days that we feel like it, because we won't feel like it every day. But show up every day for your dream, to change the outcome of your life, and to share this beautiful technology with one more person. And as a closing, I want you to just really speak this to yourself. Today, I remember who I am. I am not here by accident. I was born for a purpose, and I am becoming that step by step. I may not yet be who I dream to be, but I choose progress over perfection. I choose to grow every day. I am not here to blend in. I was created to stand out, to lead, and to light the way. When I step out today, tomorrow, and every other day after that, I step out boldly, with courage, with love, and with the fire that lives within me. I will not give up. I refuse to give up on myself, on my promises, and on the people I was born to impact. I am not where I want to be yet, but I love who I am today, and that is enough. I believe I have what it takes. Despite the pain, despite my past, I will rise. I will leave a legacy, not just for my children, but for theirs. Because this moment right here, right now, this opportunity with LifeWave We are rewriting our future. And I hold fast to a promise, the promise of a hopeful future. A future filled with purpose and peace, not harm. As spoken in the book of Isaiah, I choose opportunity over obstacles, possibility over limitation. I choose me. I am enough. I am becoming. I am ready. Be the difference and go and change the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think if we just think of what we are sitting with this opportunity and this product, and then we face things like economy, people battling, prices increasing on everything. I know and understand that sometimes there can be a lot of no's. There can be a lot of rejections. But what we have to share is too incredible to let us give up. We can't give up. What we sit with is an opportunity for the world to heal on all levels. So I want to encourage each and every one of you. I don't know what your business looks like at this stage. But what I do know is that you have a purpose and you are here for a specific reason. You are called to be the light. And that's why each and every one of you are here. So I want to encourage you to not give up on the hard days. I want to encourage you to do it not just for yourself, but for every single person who still needs to meet you and needs to hear about this. So may you be reminded each and every day that you are the difference. You don't have to be anyone else except yourself. You don't have to be Colonel Sanders. You don't have to be Oprah Winfrey. You don't have to be Charlize Theron. You can be Freeman, Jan, Jenny, Amanda, Moses, Johnny, Angus, everyone on here. Your name matters. And what I love most about what I read here and what touched me the most was when I saw, I refuse to give up on the people I was born to impact, because it's more than just us. We are here with a duty and a purpose. So be encouraged and be the light. Have a wonderful day further.